The game wasn't decided until the last play of the game, and Darwin captured all the excitement for us on tape.
Guys, right now! Leave it on the field!
All right, here we go!
Twins right, 22 band. That's it, good play. Trips right. Oh, no. They get an interception. That's not the end of the play. You got to make a tackle. Come on now. Pete! Pete! If it's zone, throw it away.
Yes! Go to that side.
There, we got a hit. Now we're playing. There, we got a hit.
Quarterback!
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. No.
Nice job.
Come on now, let's go.
Got him, baby! Good job,
Good job. That was a good touch. That's a great job, bud.
Everybody make the fun! Everybody go, guys!
A lot of exciting games this year, and that had to be one of the most exciting as Brandon Valley pulled it out 38-35. We are just minutes away from the 11 AA championship game between the Mitchell Kernals and the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights, and we'll be back right after this break. Stay with us.
The 94 completely equipped Regal SE, $18,995 or $299 a month lease.
Now for that price, I get leather, cruise, power everything, keyless entry, anti-lock brakes, and a great stereo.
$18,995 or $299 a month.
Now that's a very hot car.
Hurry into your quality Buick dealer before these babies disappear.
America's corn growers wanted it. The earth needed it. And now science has created it. Unique chemistry for the best grass control you can get, but at much lower rates. A newer, better way to protect what we grow and protect where we grow. New Frontier herbicide. Best against grass, best for the land.
You can have a great beef dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Does playing in championship games ever get boring? No way, says the O'Gorman Knights. 93 marks the 9th time the Knights have played for the title. O'Gorman is a money team, after all. Jason Green gained over 200 yards in a semifinal win. And if you see a glass slipper at the Dome, it belongs to Mitchell. The Kernals are the Cinderella story. After winning just 2 regular season games, Mitchell has strung together 3 in a row. Number 4 means the chariot doesn't turn into the pumpkin. It becomes a championship trophy.
Welcome back to the Dome. Mark Ovenden, Lee Timmerman, along with Tom Neiman. And what excitement here is our last championship game in 2 days. The Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights, who have been here many, many, many times.
Yes.
Against the Mitchell Kernals, who probably 5 weeks ago didn't really imagine they would be. But they've won 4 straight games. They're playing great football. And they are now in the championship game, the team that nobody wanted to play. We'll come back with the starting lineups right after this.
Time is running out. So hurry to your Great Plains GMC truck dealer. That special allotment of Governor's Hunt vehicles at your Great Plains GMC truck dealer is almost gone. From now through Saturday, in addition to factory discounts, when you buy any new GMC, you get your choice of add-on accessories. Choose a chrome bumper or tailgate cap, running boards, and mud flaps. Or select a lighted chrome grill guard. Don't delay. This offer ends Saturday at your Great Plains GMC truck dealer. GMC Trucks, the strength of experience.
Your Ford dealer knows you don't have money to throw away, so he's giving you your money's worth. The best-selling truck in America for just $229 a month for 24 months. That's right, a Ford F-150 XLT with a powerful 5-liter engine, automatic transmission, standard driver's airbag, air, power windows and locks, stereo cassette, and much more for only $229 a month. Don't throw your money away. Get America's best-selling truck for only $229 a month for 24 months. Only at the Truck Authority, your Northland Ford dealer.
Welcome back to the Dome. We're just about ready for the opening kickoff, but first we got to meet the players on both teams. Greg Merrigan, tell us who they are, please.
I said Greg Merrigan, tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South Dakota High School Activities Association once again welcomes you to Vermillion for the State High School Football Championships. We would like to remind you that interscholastic events are an extension of the classroom, and that lessons are best learned when proper respect is given to everyone. Please let your good sportsmanship show during the game. Fans, at this time, let's meet the starting lineups for the South Dakota Class 11AA State Championship game between the Mitchell Kernals and the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights. And now, let's meet the starting offensive unit for the Mitchell Kernals. At tight end, number 12, Jarrett Anderson. At left tackle, number 54, Andy Jerky. At left guard, number 68, Brian Benworth. At center, number 55, Carl Erson. At right guard, number 64, Garrett Gross. At right tackle, number 60, Steve Trimmer. At split end, number 1, Scott Giblin. At quarterback, number 3, Todd Sprang. At fullback, number 40, Mark Hauser. And at tailback, number 8, Ty Huber. The wingback is number 32, Ron Muth. And the head coach of the Kernals is Bob Sprang. And now let's meet the defensive unit for the O'Gorman Knights. At defensive end, number 34, Jason Green. At defensive end, number 87, Mike Kelly. At tackle, number 61, Matt Durbin. At tackle, number 76, Mike Patton. At linebacker, number 65, Bill Early. At linebacker, number 40, Kevin Klepka. At linebacker, number 51, Dennis Cornier. At linebacker, number 24, Tracy Junkie. At corner, number 11, Pat Brueggemann. At cornerback, number 89, Rob Hillman. And at safety, number 82, Matt Merrick. The head coach of the Knights is Steve Keeter. The officials for this Class 11AA championship game, the referee is Bernie Hendricks of Brookings. The umpire is Dan Kipley of Brookings. The linesman is Dennis Micko of Brookings. And the line judge is Mike Redmond of Brookings.
So we're set for our final championship game. The team that's almost always here.
Yes.
The O'Gorman Knights. And as Steve Keeter said the other day when we were chatting about it, he says, hey, our kids are expected to win in the playoffs. They are just expected to get here. And somehow that seems to carry through almost every year. I don't think anybody gave O'Gorman a chance of being here midway through the year after they lost a couple of games and been drilled by the Warriors of Washington 34-6 in a dominating performance. And really, that's been a motivator for them. But you want to talk about coming back from nowhere. Mitchell was 1-6. They won their last regular season game. They have won their 3 playoff games, the last 2 in incredibly impressive fashion defensively. And they're the team that every coach in the ESD said, I do not want to play Mitchell in the playoffs.
But Mitchell had a 5-game losing streak, but here they are.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And we'll be able to develop a little bit more about why that may have happened. Coach Sprang moved some of his players, his better athletes that he wanted on defense. They focused on defense first. And when you do that, the offensive line, which is always the toughest to come together, took a little bit while longer to get going.
Well,
and when they did, yeah.
and they've got an incredibly positive attitude, which you have to have to overcome that kind of a start. Ty Huber is back deep to receive the kickoff, along with Corey Johnson. It's going to be Johnson at the 9-yard line. Johnson barrels up the middle and gets out close to the 30-yard line. So the Kernals will take over on the 30, 1st and 10. And they're a team that has come on in the last 3-4 weeks offensively. They will rely heavily on the running of number 8, Ty Hubert, who has over 800 yards. But 500 of those have come in the playoffs.
He does a little of everything. If you add up your total yards, over 1,700 this year.
Mark Hauser also in the backfield, and the coach's son, who is like another coach on the field, is the quarterback. Hauser takes the handoff and gets about a yard. Todd Sprang is the quarterback for the Kernels.
The O'Gorman defense, a 4-4 basically. Sometimes those linebackers come so near the line of scrimmage every once in a while it looks like a radar.
6-man line.
Yeah. I know one of the first things I always do is watch how the offensive line comes off the ball. Always the key.
They split Huber wide to left. He'll catch some passes for you. Sprang is going to run out of there, and he's tripped up. Nice defensive play, because it looked like he might run out of there and get a big gainer, but Tracy Jonke with a tackle on the play for the Knights.
Senior, 175. Jonke, 49 tackles throughout the regular year. Plays a linebacker position and really closed down the hole. There was a hole there. That's what Sprang saw. But Jonke, the definite shoestring tackle. He had the fingers.
And Sprang is very dangerous. They wanted to feature him in their offense as far as having him run the football. But everybody keyed on him so much, he doesn't have the kind of numbers that he had hoped. And that's where Huber really fits in. He's a very important part of the offense and has not touched the ball yet. There he goes. The spin move gets him out to the 34-yard line. They'll have to punt. Gain of 6, 4th down.
So maybe it's fitting that after the first offensive play or drive stalls, that really the reason why Mitchell got here will go on next. That's their defense.
Right.
Definitely.
Scott Giblin is the punter. He's also made a name for himself as their place kicker in the playoffs. End over end kick's going to go out of bounds. So the good part of that is the lack of return. And the Knights get fairly decent field position. See where they spot the football. It's going to go on the 35-yard line, 36-yard line.
Somehow I have a feeling, Mark, that O'Gorman's first play will be
Jason Green.
A run, yes. Jason Green. He's the guy they want to establish inside, the big fullback. When he gains a lot of yards, O'Gorman wins. It's what, over 200 against Stevens.
They've got 3 backs that can get you 100 yards, but Jason Green is the star of this team. He is their best player. There he is, 34. He's not all that big, but he's tough. And he can break away from you, too, if you don't wrap the tackle, which they did on that play. Gain of 4. He averages 6 yards per carry, and O'Gorman has always been a running football team. Can't argue with the success, though. Bob Burns back in 81 and 82, winning 1 championship game, losing the other to Yankton, and they have been back 6 more times under Steve Keeter and won 4. Matt Carlson, a tough, durable runner. Actually liked defense, but got hurt last year as a linebacker, and now they let him play just offense.
And you see the big, heavy knee brace on his left knee. But this is the way O'Gorman pretty much starts every game. They'll let each running back take it a couple times, see which one has the, the good holes, and go from there. Offensively, the offensive line of O'Gorman is so well schooled and so well taught. That's why they do what they do.
Carlson takes the handoff, and oh, good run. Didn't look like he had the first down, and somehow he picked up an extra 2-3 yards at the end of that carry.
Yeah, the actual hit came before the 45, and you're right, Mark, it was the extra 3 yards on the second and third effort that did get that first down. But there's your O'Gorman drive, 3 running plays, first down. It's the way their offense rolls. Carlson, just look at it, almost ripping the jersey off him. Pads are out and still on his feet.
Time it's shot across midfield and down to the 47-yard line of Mitchell, and a gain of 5 yards on the play, and a good surge forward that time by the offensive line.
Fire off the ball.
Shot can break a long one on you. He's gained 578 yards and scored 6 touchdowns this year. Carlson's gained 811. He scored 9 touchdowns. Green has gained 1,233, scored 17 times. And there's Carlson driving down for another first down on a good hard run.
That was another trait of the O'Gorman Knights off that double wing, is they always put the guy in motion. This time the guy is Carlson. He's already moving, already squared, and almost at full speed by the time he hits the line and hits that hole.
Well, we gave him the first down. We'll measure. It does look like he had it.
Short.
Ooh. A couple of inches shy. So it's going to be 3rd down and very, very short for the Knights here on their first possession. They stopped the Mitchell Kernals first time they had the ball. Forced the punt. guy you don't hear much about is Chad Olinger, the quarterback. There's very few teams you hear less about their quarterback than O'Gorman.
But when he has passed, it's been very effective. And against Stevens, it was some passes that set up touchdowns.
And they also scored on a touchdown pass to Grogan. Green gets the first down across the 40 and a gain of 4.
Jaranovich, Martinson on the left side of the offensive line for O'Gorman, 72-74.
You're seeing some pretty good balance amongst distribution to the backs, but Green's the guy they want to carry the ball 20 times tonight. Kernals with an awesome defensive display in their quarterfinal and semifinal victory. Schott now the ball carrier.
And really, when Mitchell's back was against the goal line, so to speak, in the game against here, and Kernals came up big on some fourth down plays.
Huron had a chance to win that game right near the end. 9-6 was your final score, but they held them down near the goal line. Actually, both of these teams with tremendous goal line stands, or they wouldn't be here. Gorman's coming against Yankton. Schott takes the pitch. Schott breaking tackles, and Schott down close to the 25-yard line for a big gainer.
An absolutely munching block by Green. Number 34, Jason Green. Check it out. Boom.
Wow.
Straight on your back. The alarm clock bell is going off.
Jared Grosstedier says, where am I?
Linebacker, senior Grosstedier at 150, but there was no match on that play on that head of steam.
Look out, they're going to throw. Kelly has it. Out of bounds. Close to the goal line. The tight end, Mike Kelly.
6th catch of the season. And just the 30th pass completion all year for O'Gorman. Yet again, when the Knights decide to throw, Olinger seems to find his man.
Great call. You run the ball 8-9 plays in a row, and then boom, gotcha. 1st and goal for the Knights. Green takes the handoff, and he is in. Second effort for Green, his 18th touchdown. And the Knights are on the board first.
That's taking it to you.
Pretty impressive first drive, I'd say.
Yeah, very impressive.
And 64 yards, almost all on the ground.
And not surprising that Green scored the touchdown either.
Hillman to kick it through. He's almost automatic. Kick is good. 6:26 to go in the quarter. And the Knights strike first, 7-0.
I dream of creating new opportunities in my community and extending the life of our planet. I dream that the people of Winter will demonstrate their pioneering spirit by developing a new recycling industry, an industry that will create jobs and help us better care for our world.
No dream is too big if someone, somewhere, believes in you.
Your score, O'Gorman, with a very impressive opening drive, Lee.
10 plays, 64 yards, took 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
And their money man took it in from 2 yards out. Jason Green, his 18th touchdown. Hillman with the boot, almost to the goal line. And this time, barely getting the ball out to the 20-yard line was Johnson, and that's where the Kernals will start.
Cassidy Fitzpatrick, number 25, in on the tackle.
Watch Green with the bounce. Pretty good balance.
when you keep your shoulders square like that, you can still have use your momentum to your advantage when they spin you.
So Sprang brings him out, and now his team is down 7-0, and Huber almost gets to the outside for a big gainer. Does pick up 5 yards on first down.
Klemka with the tackle.
Ty Huber has become really the main man for him on offense.
He scored the touchdown against Huron, the go-ahead, eventual game winner.
In their first playoff game, he had 264 yards rushing. There he goes again. Huber might go to the outside. Big gainer. He's near midfield. Gain of 22 yards on the play.
Simply a terrific job of blocking. That Huber's job was easy because the offensive line and the backs did what you want to do. Close the seam from the inside, kick out on the outside. You saw the key block there, I think number 64, Jarrett Gross, took Green out of the play, and Huber was able to just turn on the jets then and go for as much as he could get.
First down. Sprang with the ball. Another big gain on 1st and 10. It looks like a first down for the Kernals on the 40-yard line of O'Gorman.
And again, Jarrett Gross was out there helping lead the way, number 64, with some downfield blocks.
The quarterback Sprang, a good runner.
The right guard pulling in front.
And a good gain of 11 yards. Another first down for the Kernals. Whoa. Vicious hit on Hauser. That went nowhere. Bill Early with the hit, along with 74, Rob Martinson. Players get their names on their jerseys if they make it to the championship game at O'Gorman, and they get to keep them.
Hey, that's worth working for.
You bet.
And there's a lot of people with a lot of jerseys who are O'Gorman graduates.
Yes, there are.
What may be even more impressive to say that, well, as if 9 times here isn't, but O'Gorman has only not made it four times to the title game in the history of these playoffs.
Ryan keeps the ball. He scrambles, dumps it off to Huber, who's wide open. Can he avoid the one tackler? No. Matt Bruggeman with a super tackle in the open field. That might have saved a touchdown.
That was not the way the play was designed either, I don't think, because Scott Giblin was the streak man down the left side and Sprang improvising. Looking downfield, now kicking it back. Huber, the safety valve. One-on-one out on the open turf.
Bruggeman, a great story. He was hurt on the second play of the season. They didn't think he'd be back at all, but boy, he wanted to be. He's worked very hard. Huber inside the 35 on 3rd and 6, gets only 2. So now it's 4th down and 4.
The same type of play that went for that big gainer, but Matt Durban, number 61, that time closed it off.
Bruggeman is the defensive captain for O'Gorman. When he got hurt on that second play and he calls all the defensive plays, it was a zoo on the field without him out there. And of course, they lost that game to the Bobcats. Now, will they punt? It's 4th and 4 on the 34-yard line. Will they kick it? Yep.
They did.
And they kick it into the end zone, and O'Gorman gets the ball on the 20-yard line.
You love punts, don't you, Mark?
Not that deep in enemy territory. I don't. O'Gorman ball on the 20.
So let's see how the Mitchell defense goes up against this time.
Oh, there goes Shat! He's gone! 80 yards and a touchdown!
like this O'Gorman team wasn't supposed to have the back with the great speed, but Schott
Schott's
took
got
off.
pretty good speed. He's their breakaway guy, and there's another look. See you later. And Hellman, for the 64th time in his career, boots it through the Knights. Quickly build a 14-0 lead with 2:53 to go in the first quarter.
Off to the races.
Wow.
That's exactly the way that play is drawn up. Here's a good view of what Schott had. Green with the kick out, follow the guard through. That's Bill Early with the other block.
And it's off to the races.
You beat the safety.
That's why I wouldn't have punted. You're supposed to keep the ball away from O'Gorman. Well, that's a rather deep hole to be dug into early in the game. Mitchell's defense has gotten them here. Now it's going to have to be their offense that's going to win the game.
Yeah, you figure two of the 3 wins in the playoffs. One was 6-3, the other 9-6.
Huber at the goal line. Just 9 minutes into the game, O'Gorman has built a 14-0 lead. A 2-yard run on a nice 10-play drive, and then a 1-play 80-yard drive. Steve Keeter's got this game right where he wants it, very, very early into the game. Huber picking up 5 up the middle.
That does put the pressure on the offense, no doubt about it. But by the same token, you won't see Mitchell, I don't think, going out and trying to throw and go long. A drive.
Well, they moved the ball really well on their last possession.
And the Kernals want another drive like that.
Huber tripped up. Nice tackle by Kevin Klemka, number 40. No gain on the play, 3rd down.
Second on the team in tackles throughout the year, total tackles.
I'm still amazed that Pat Bruggeman's out there playing. Had his ligament reattached to the bone with a staple. Ooh, that hurts thinking about it. On the 2nd play of the season.
He again is number 11, the cornerback.
3rd down and 5. Sprang to throw, and it's too low for Giblin. Couldn't get to it. 4th down.
They went right at kind of Bruggeman there with that particular pass. And that's the tough play for him to make, I would think, on the left side, because you need to plan off your right foot to try and close ground on an out pass.
Schott will drop back to receive the punt, and Giblin will kick it again for Mitchell. 14-0 O'Gorman, still in the first quarter. He's barely got that kick away. It's going to go out of bounds again.
And that was Bruggeman who went flying through the air. Almost getting there.
It's good field position on its own 46-yard line. That was a 29-yard kick with no return. Watch how close Bruggeman comes to the block.
Well, Mitchell's defense must come through right here.
Well, Matt Carlson, the only O'Gorman back without a touchdown so far. Green powering into Mitchell territory.
The perfect first down play. If you're Steve Keeter, gain half the 10 yards and go from there. Look at how square the shoulders are. After the initial hit was made on Titsy, he just still made another almost 4 yards after it.
tacklers and very close to a first down, a little bit shy. 3rd down and 1. He's over 100 yards. And we're in the first quarter.
101.
And we'll get one more play in here before the quarter is over. It's been all night.
And an interesting thing about being over 100 yards with one back already, Steve Keeter said if we rush for 300 yards, we win. If we pass for 100, we lose.
So far, so good.
Yes.
Green with the first down. Clock will wind down on the first quarter. The first chapter is written in the 11 AA championship. O'Gorman likes how the storyline is reading so far. Knights leading 14-0 after one quarter. We'll be right back.
It may not look busy, but this Dodge Intrepid is processing 2 million pieces of information per second. Its remarkable computer network constantly analyzes data that helps it choose shift points, optimize fuel economy, even maintain the inside temperature you want. Just think, with 5 seconds left in this commercial, Intrepid still has about 10 million things to do. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
What are your neighbors saying about electric heat pumps?
The cost, you know, the savings. Efficiency. I think it's the biggest thing I can say about it.
I think it's the only heating system as far as I'm concerned.
It's just a nice, comfortable, steady heat.
Yeah, I wouldn't put them in if they wasn't good. It was one of the best moves we ever made, getting the heat pump.
Don't just take their word for it. Call your electric cooperative today for more information.
I would advise anybody to get a heat pump.
We really love it.
The Sioux Falls Skyforce, the Rochester Renegade, the season opener, live from the arena November 19th, only on Kettleland TV.
Welcome back to the Dome in Vermillion. We're in the 11 AA championship game. The O'Gorman Knights having a lot more fun than the Mitchell Kernals right now. In fact, they're doing all the popping.
Good one. I'll give you a point for that.
All right.
There you go.
Jason Green on a 2-yard touchdown run. Phil Schott on an 80-yard scamper. And the Knights threatening again, have the ball in Mitchell territory. First down and 10.
Oh, that was a huge hole.
Here we go again. Ball is laying on the field, but Green was down.
An absolutely huge hole up the middle. Green's used to getting hit in there.
Yeah. 15 yards for Green, who now has 33 yards. Follow your blocking, Jason. What a huge hole.
You see that one block by Durban knocking a guy down?
And the field cannot cause the fumble. So it's 1st and 10 for the Knights. Green picking up a couple of yards late.
First quarter stats, 131 yards rushing, of course, 80 on the big touchdown, the 24-yard pass, but the Kernals' defense right now is the one behind the 8 ball. 131 yards rushing in a quarter.
Pretty impressive. There's some more. Oh, Carlson almost ripping off a 6-pointer. Picks up the first down for the Knights.
Good work for Mike Riddle. Mike Riddle, number 43, the leading tackler for Mitchell. But look at this. This is a perfect example. A huge hole. Shot at the point of the attack. The pulling guard early. Oh. Right now, the Kernals' defense is a lot like a turkey on Thanksgiving. They're getting carved up by the line.
Bad. You're right. Up the middle, touchdown for Green. Jason Green, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and we are just into the second quarter. Look at the run. It's coming right into the living room.
Again,
or the kitchen or wherever you want.
Early with the perfect block. Oh, that offensive line is a thing of beauty right now.
Hillman nails the point after. 21-0 O'Gorman early in the second quarter. So Green with his second touchdown of the game. He's got 50 yards. Schott with one long touchdown run has 101. Carlson has 23.
7 plays on the scoring drive, 54 yards, 247. This will be a game where time of possession.
Father and son saying, hey, do you suppose we could talk them into starting over again? We weren't ready.
Yeah, this will be one of those games where time of possession is a lying stat.
Yes.
Because O'Gorman has scored so quickly. But yes, it is Father Bob Sprang and his son Todd that are trying to figure out how to get something going offensively. I love watching offensive lines work as well as O'Gorman's has thus far.
Kick goes to Ty Huber on the 4-yard line. Vicious hit. Is that Schott down there that made the hit?
Schott was down there, 27.
Like he was shot out of a cannon.
Huber's still shaking it.
Ooh. Let's take another look at that hit by Phil Schott. And look at Huber. We'll get to that play in just a minute. Huber's still wondering what happened. Sprang's going to throw it. Nope. Going to try to throw it. It is caught. Hauser at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6.
Off of the deflection, and what makes that pass dangerous from Sprang is that he had to go back. So his momentum was left, and he had to throw off his back foot going backwards. And you just don't get much on the ball. See him running back?
Boy, bad things can happen when you're falling backwards and you throw the ball. Luckily for Mitchell, that was a good thing that happened.
Yeah, that Hauser was there.
Whoops. Left tackle jumping on the play, and it's 5 yards the wrong way for the Kernals.
False start, number 54 on the offense. Still second down.
And as bad as things have gone, not being able to stop O'Gorman, little things like that can really goof up whatever momentum you got going on offense.
Oh yeah, penalties are a nasty thing to happen, especially after you catch kind of a break on Hauser's catch.
Yes. So it's second down and 8.
Well, the 5 yards.
They get it back.
Got the 5 yards back.
Ball foul. Encroachment, number 74 on the defense. Still second down. Encroachment, number 74 on the defense. Still second down.
Nothing with 9:30 to go in the half. The O'Gorman Knights with 2 touchdowns from Jason Green, 1 from Phil Schott. And the Mitchell Kernals trying to just keep the ball away from the team in blue right now. Sprang on 2nd and short. Looks like he has a first down before he's shoved out of bounds on the 33 for a gain of 5.
Now get the fresh set and regroup. The quarterback sweep, nothing fancy, just put enough people in front of you to pick up the 3 or 4 yards that you need for that first down.
Well, he's a good runner. He's picked up over 550 yards this year and averaged almost 5 yards per carry.
Which is good because quarterbacks, when you get sacked, it counts against you as running yards too, so to have that many positive ones.
Huber out to the 37-yard line for 4 yards on a first down play.
Now it looks like the Mitchell offensive line starting to get in sync a little bit better. Surge is what you used as an expression earlier, Mark, when O'Gorman's offensive line. That was a very good surge that time by the Kernals. Right side, Gross and Timmer.
Well, they had a good drive the second time they had the football and got it down to the 36-yard line or 34-yard line of O'Gorman and punted on 4th and 4. No place to go this time. It's going to be a loss of a couple of yards on the play.
Martinson over there, number 74, again a senior, 213. Right now, Martinson playing in the position that Matt Durban usually is. That's the right tackle on the defense.
Giblin split out wide to the left, top of your screen. And a handoff, forward handoff there to Hauser, and a big gainer for Mitchell. Hauser all the way out to the 47-yard line, and a first down for the Kernals, gain of 11.
Well, Mitchell caught O'Gorman that time in a blitz and was able to take the 2 linebackers who blitzed and split them with the handoff.
Watch how
inside.
aggressive the defense is here. Oh, nice wraparound handoff.
Yeah, Yankee was one on the blitz, and he just ran right around it. If you don't blitz, you stay home and you shut that play down.
Huber working pretty hard for that yard that he just got. Green and early on the stop. Giblin brings the play in for Mitchell. He and Ryan Miller will run plays back and forth. And on second down and about 9 yards to go, they pick up a couple. They run it on the flanker, Ron Muth.
Well, Mitchell has had some trouble getting outside. And so what you do then is you keep the guards, pull them tight, try to stay inside, and an inside handoff in a misdirection, try and catch the seam, much like O'Gorman did in some touchdown runs to try to break one open.
Big play for Mitchell here. They have got to keep the ball. They've got to drive down and score. And most importantly, they got to keep the ball away from O'Gorman. Sprang to throw it. He's looking around, shakes the tackler. He's going to run it, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, I think, a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, I think Sprang is short. But even after Green missed the tackle on the sack.
Look at all the time he's got back here.
That was, I'm getting to my point there, where the defensive backs stay with their receivers, and he was knocked short.
He was popped. So it's 4th down and about 1.5 yards. And Giblin will kick, we think.
Punt formation.
I was wondering about that. The inside handoff, and Mitchell will get a first down on the play. Jarad Gross-Didier took the handoff from the backup quarterback, who's the right tackle. Steve Timmer is the guy that hiked it to, number 60, and he handed it off to Gross-Didier, who ran for the first down. Watch. Number 60 is a backup quarterback.
Who's playing tackle, by the way. And hands off, to Gross-Didier.
Nice play.
2 guys pulled out in front, too, to help lead it.
No place to go, loses a yard. Martinson with another big play on defense.
People may be wondering why the backup quarterback is wearing number 60 from Mitchell, but Steve Timmer is the right tackle as well.
He's the right tackle. And early in the year, one of the linemen pulled a hamstring. They needed somebody to play line. He said, hey, coach, let me try it. He's done so well there, they've kept him there. Now, if he played quarterback, he'd switch his jersey to number 10. so he's their secret weapon. Huber got about 5 on the play.
That is such an interesting story, and he's holding his back.
Not very big to be playing on the offensive line. There he is.
170 pounds.
At the bottom of the screen there. You're talking in the ESD here.
I don't know that there'd be too many other quarterbacks around that volunteer to do that.
Hauser, big hole. And Hauser down to the 25-yard line. First down, Kernals.
Hauser stepped right out of a potential tackle by B.J. DeYoung. And there was no one behind him.
And a beautiful hole to run through. Shaking one tackle and getting the first down is Hauser. Mitchell desperately needs a touchdown on this drive. Trailing 21-0. They're not going to get it on that play. The counter goes to Ron Muth, but he goes nowhere.
That was play number 15 in this drive, Mark.
So in that respect, they've had a very successful drive keeping the football, but they need points. They are too far behind. They cannot settle for a time-consuming drive that does not end up in points. Sprang is going to try to throw it. Uh-oh. He is going to be sacked by Jason Green at the 40. That's a 15-yard loss.
Open momentarily on the far side was Ryan Miller, number 21, but he was so far away he couldn't get the ball to him under the pressure. And the top of your screen is the guy who's open. He's waiting for it, and that's actually where Sprang looked. And now he has nobody else on the right side of the field. Because once he started scrambling, I looked up for a receiver to come over to the right side. There was nobody there. He was in trouble from the word go.
3rd down and a quarter of the field to go. Huber banged down at the 34. They gained 6. Huber's really been working hard for this team. He
got up a little slow there again. He's been hit hard.
Having a good game, but he is really paying for it. He's been hit a lot.
Boom. Ooh. Right in the ribs.
They got a timeout on the field. The big play coming up for Mitchell. They're going to talk about it first. They trail 21-0.
I dream of equality. Imagine the world without a diversity of people, where everyone is the same. I feel a person's heritage deserves to be preserved. One example is the proud culture of our own Lakota people. It may take time, but I dream of a day when everyone is accepted for who they are.
No dream is too big if someone, somewhere, believes in you.
I like my job. I like working with people, and I like Canon copiers. Best sells the best.
It makes my job a lot easier keeping our customers happy. When I sit down with a customer,
the first thing we do is we find out what he really needs. The Canon copier that is best in terms of output, features, and costs.
Then we work out a deal. I don't have to sell Canon copiers. They sell themselves. But it's up to me to see to it that every Best Business Products client gets exactly what he needs and at the right price. It's the best way to do business.
Welcome back to Vermillion, the 11 AA championship. There's your score. Now Mitchell has put together what would normally be considered an awesome drive here, but
yep.
they're in a predicament. 4th and 18.
This is the 18th play, and look at this formation.
There's 4 guys out of your screen at the bottom of the screen. Sprang to throw. Got his man Huber. Did he get the first down? He dove forward. I think he's a yard shy. I think they got 17 yards, and O'Gorman's going to get the ball.
This is a It's close, though. But what this does is effectively take away half the defenders and almost make it 6-on-6 football and get Huber one-on-one against the defender, which is exactly what happened. Jonke was out there. He couldn't stay with him.
Well, they might have got it. I take it back. Let's see. Oh, my. Look how close it is. He got it. By the hair on his chinny chin chin.
Boy, Mitchell needed something like that to keep this drive going. The Kernals have to get some points before half. They've had the ball almost 8 minutes on this drive.
Hauser. 19 plays on this drive. How many high school teams put together drives with that many plays? Or any
the kind that can pull off a 4-18, I guess. Yeah.
Man.
Most of the time you don't get that first down.
No. Hauser gets a yard on the play. Second down for the Kernals, needing 6 points. All 160 pounds of Mr. Huber gets pounded down to the turf again. He is not a very big guy, and he's very durable.
I think it was Martinson that broke through and kind of disrupted that play right away.
Carried the ball 12 times already, and we're in the first half still. Third down and 8 for Mitchell. Under 2 minutes to go. They trail 21-0. Sprang to throw in the end zone. Incomplete.
That pass just floated on him. That's a very, very tough pass to try and complete.
Another look at it coming your way.
Proverbial jump ball. Sprang, who has had a little success on that quarterback, quarterback sweep, made that look like a sweep and then pull up.
And the Kernals have called another timeout, fully realizing the importance of the situation here. Trailing 21-0 with 1:36 to go in the half. They've had the ball for 9 minutes and 1 second, but they've got to get some points on the board. Here's Ryan Miller saying, Todd, throw me the ball.
I thought that was who Sprang was looking at initially, but he elected to go to the corner. And when that pass got about halfway there and started to wobble, it didn't have much of a chance to be completed.
Now this is the 22nd play of this drive. 22nd play. They've had it for over 9 minutes.
And it's 4th and 9.
They are lining up for a field goal by Giblin.
Giblin can kick them. Washington knows that.
His 2 field goals beat the Warriors 6-3. He has 3 field goals on the year. 2 of them in that one game. Don't be so sure this is a field goal attempt, although it looks like they're lined up for it. The kick is good. So they get some points.
Dangerously close to being wide right, but it snuck inside. Any kind of points is what Mitchell needed. Of course, touchdowns are preferred, but the Kernals needed something.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. A 31-yard field goal by Giblin, and it's now 21-3, which means 3 scores can put them ahead or win the game if they hold O'Gorman for the rest of the contest.
Put a capital I on that if.
Yeah, capital I is right. They have not held them yet. Gorman scoring 3 touchdowns, 2 fairly nice drives, and 1 burst of 80 yards. So Giblin will kick it off. We got Jeremy Butterfield and Phil Schott back deep.
Yeah, here, if you're Mitchell, you just hope that O'Gorman doesn't break something else and you can go in and talk about it.
Yeah, after that long drive, that's the last thing you want to have happen. Not so sure he's going to kick it deep. It's going to be Jason Green on the 17-yard line.
He still never did bring him down.
Takes it up to the 31-yard line.
Forward.
Let's see what O'Gorman does here in the final 124.
His forward progress was stopped, but Green never did go down. Check out the big guy. You know what he does so well, too, is just keep his shoulders squared, and he's always going forward. If you notice, his shoulders are always in front of where his knees are. Momentum, always going forward.
He's a big, strong kid, 194 yards. He's tough to bring down. There's Carlson. And there's 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, for people who don't normally watch an offensive line, try as much as you can to do that, because it's a thing of beauty what O'Gorman's offensive line has done in this first half.
Their offense is no secret. They've been playing the same offense for years, but they just run it so well. Execution has been there for them, and there's a first down.
Remember reading about and having people talk about the Green Bay Packers in their heyday with Vince Lombardi? Lombardi always used to say, "I'll give you my playbook,
but stop them."
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can stop us. You know what we're going to do. That's what O'Gorman has done successfully for years.
They call timeout with 38 seconds to go in the half. 1st and 10 on the 44-yard line. The news is coming up, followed by 1st and 10, which the Knights have just gotten. And the kids in the hall. And of course, tomorrow, don't forget, we've got NFL action for you. First game is Green Bay and New Orleans, followed by the Vikings at Denver against the Broncos and John Elway, who's having a great season.
Boy, the Broncos looking like the AFC team to beat again.
Yep, along with Buffalo, although they've got a tough game this week. Playing those Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe. 38 seconds to go in the half. 21-3 O'Gorman, and they are threatening. Ollinger is going to be sacked. And a big play on the defensive side by Jarrett Anderson.
The outside linebacker on the left side, Anderson came hard. And the play was designed to have Ollinger roll out to that side. And he rolled right into where the blitz came. So the defensive call was perfect.
Another timeout is called by O'Gorman, a loss of 8 yards on the play. Tackle by Anderson, that name pretty familiar.
Watch how Ollinger goes down here, because he's kind of bent over a little bit, holding his back a little bit funny here. See if he gets twisted around or... Oh, yeah, he gets hit
from behind as he's going down. Anderson, a familiar name to sports fans throughout the state, because Jarrett's older brothers, pretty successful collegiate athletes in addition to being great Kernals. Chad Anderson played quarterback on this very same field for the Coyotes of USD, and Steve, a pretty darn good basketball player at college.
Augustana. Now Ollinger still, you can just look at him. He's feeling it. That was Kuiper, Eric Kuiper, number 80, that came in and kind of bent him over.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob Sprang is one of the most positive people you will ever meet. But that will be tested tonight.
Well, you have to be when you had a 5-game losing streak during the regular season.
Yeah, but he's that way anyway, regardless.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Handoff goes to Green, and he is hit at the 37, spins forward to the 39. And this time the Kernals will call timeout, I believe.
Because it will be 4th down. If you're Mitchell, take the chance.
They want to get the ball back.
To run one back. Every opportunity you can. a smart timeout. And look at Olinger is still holding his back along the far side, even though he did nothing more than hand off there. He's standing on the 35 over there, and during this timeout, they're still talking with number 15. There you see it. Olinger was really shaken up.
Chad Stahl made the tackle on the play. He's one of the only guys that's been able to bring Green down. He's strong enough, though. He benches 350.
Yeah, I think that would qualify, wouldn't it?
10 seconds to go in the half. It's 3rd down. Boy, that's not a good sight at all. Oof. I would imagine the Knights would run the half out here with 10 seconds to go in the half. Here's another look at the hit where Olinger was hurt, as he will drop back and he's going to be tackled. But as he's going down,
Anderson is already there. Look at the head of steam too that Kuiper, number 80, gets. His legs are already tied up and just bent straight over.
Oof. Well, we've got far more coverage coming for you. Not just football. We're done with football for the year after tonight, but we've got basketball coming up, Skyforce, and of course the State A Basketball Championship starting the weekend of Thursday, March 10th from the Sioux Falls Arena.
March is the month that hoop fans dearly love. All the big stuff, the colleges, you know, March to the Final Four and all the high school stuff.
Then we'll be in Rapid City the following weekend for the AA. AAs were probably the most exciting tournament last year in terms of the great championship game that came right down to the wire. Certainly love that time of the year. And as we told you earlier in the night, we'll have the girls State A December 4th from the Huron Arena. The Gorman cheerleaders hoping their fallen quarterback is indeed okay. The back is not something you want to mess with. We had a scary moment in the O'Gorman Brookings game when the Brookings quarterback was hit and was on the field for, gosh, he was down for darn near a half an hour. And now Chad is being assisted from the field.
Oh, I hope he's all right.
By Rod Garrison and Rick Lynch.
Putting no pressure on the right leg either.
We'll try to get a report on his status as soon as possible. Handoff goes to Carlson. Carlson breaking tackles. Carlson still driving into Mitchell territory as the half ends. He picks up 16 yards on the run, and that's the end of the first half, and what an impressive display it has been here in the first half by the O'Gorman Knights. They are well on their way to having 3 backs in triple figures for rushing yardage, and it has been a one-sided show so far, 21-3. Tom Neiman is down there with Steve Keeter. Tom?
Got hit in the back.
If it's just a bruise or if he's got a pulled muscle or if it's something more serious, but trainer's looking at him right now.
It looked easy for you guys out there, but it was execution, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we had 3 drives we executed rather well, but I'm a little disappointed in our defense here on this last drive, and we got to get some things shored up. They're a good football team, and they got a little smell now with that field goal, so we need to reestablish ourselves.
You go in and make the challenge at halftime to prevent the letdown in the second?
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of things we've got to shore up. We've got some adjustments to make, so we got a long way to go.
Golly, O'Gorman's looking pretty good right here. They lead the Mitchell Kernals 21-3 at halftime, and we're back to the Dome after this.
It is called the Last Great Race. Spanning over 1,000 miles across the Alaskan wilderness, the Iditarod dog sled race is one of the most grueling competitions in the world. It's a race Vern Halter of Flandreau, South Dakota, dreams of winning. a dream your community Norwest Bank is helping him strive for. In 1993, Vern shared his dream with over 25,000 students in school assemblies across the state. And as he spoke, his dream sparked the dreams of others. That's why we're helping Vern. And why this year, we're again offering 70 $1,000 college scholarships to deserving high school seniors.
If your dreams include college, pick up a scholarship application at your local Norwest Bank today. Our application deadline is January 31st.
Nothing is impossible if someone, somewhere, believes in you.
America's corn growers wanted it. The earth needed it. And now science has created it. Unique chemistry for the best grass control you can get, but at much lower rates. A newer, better way to protect what we grow and protect where we grow. New Frontier herbicide. Best against grass, best for the land.
Well, we apologize for some of the audio problems we're having with that darn wireless mic. You know, ever since the West Central kids dumped water on he and UTEC last night, it's just been kind of a 50-50 deal. Those things don't work well when they've had water dumped on them, I don't think.
No, most microphones don't. Yeah, I don't think so.
Now, you know, a dilemma here. O'Gorman, we kiddingly said that the O'Gorman quarterback, you don't hear his name all too much, but he's a real important part of that offense in terms of making things run. Now you got to bring somebody else in there. Is that going to mess things up?
Well, the main thing it does is it takes your timing off a little bit because you're used to the one way a guy hands off. Maybe it's, you know, a little higher in the chest or a little lower in the belly. It's just a number of things that through the course of practices and repetition that are just a little bit different. But basically, fundamentally, O'Gorman, whether Halfman is in at quarterback or Olinger or anybody, they do the same thing anyway. But yes, indeed, well, you'd never want your number one guy out.
All right, let's send it back down to Tom Neiman on the field. Tom?
All right, fellas, at the 11 AA, we've got a little feature here from a former AA player, a man from Sturgis, named Doug Miller, great all-around athlete. He wanted to play basketball when he originally went up to South Dakota State in Brookings, but now he makes his living playing football, and we caught up with Mr. Miller in the Metrodome this past Sunday. He's put on 10 pounds of muscle since he's been with the Chargers, but that didn't prevent a foot injury a few weeks ago. So he sat out the Vikings game last Sunday and will most likely miss one more game. And the setback comes just as Doug Miller was starting to make a name for himself on the San Diego special teams. And at this level, you can't afford to look too far down the line.
The future doesn't always mean that much in the NFL, you know. It's kind of dog-eat-dog place, but I think they like kind of my versatility to play inside, and you know, I got some good speed for a middle linebacker, and I think they like my intelligence and kind of knowledge of the game as far as being able to play the middle and make all the calls. But they're looking for me as, you know, not a guy to come in and obviously play right away, but a guy to come in maybe the next couple of years and play some of the middle linebacker.
Miller is making the transition right now from outside to inside linebacker.
It's a lot more physical, especially up at this level. You got, you know, just about everybody you're going to run into is 300 pounds. So in that respect, you really got to work on your techniques to kind of even things out when you go up against guys that are 70, 80 pounds heavier than you.
He says it's that size and the speed of the NFL game that has taken some getting used to.
Hopefully I'm over that stage of kind of, you know, being in awe of the whole thing. But when I first came in, you know, it was just looking around you. At every position, there was a guy that, you know, if you weren't ready, every play was going to knock your head off. And in college, you know, there was a few guys that could do it, and the rest, you know, you could almost, you know, play around with them. But here, you got to be ready every play, and I think that's the thing that's really, you know, struck me.
Coming from a smaller school like South Dakota State has been more of a blessing than a disadvantage for Miller. He's taken nothing for granted, and that approach, along with a strong work ethic, have paid off.
You know, it's something I always kind of thought I had the ability to do, and I just I knew it would come unless I worked hard, and I think the last 3 years at State, I really worked hard as far as not just being a good player there, but making myself good enough where I can play after that, and that's really what got me there. I think got me here.
So Dougie's making a good living right now. He says he lives in a condo in Jack Murphy Stadium there in San Diego. So he's having a little fun right now, former Jackrabbit. We're going to be back with more from this 11 AA championship. O'Gorman is up 21-3 right now at the half, and we'll be back after this.
You know, I could sit up here all day telling you about Hardee's new hot melts with fries for just $1.99. Like Hardee's tasty hot ham and cheese, or that juicy mushroom and Swiss burger. And my favorite, the piled high roast beef and cheddar. But I'm not sitting up here all day. I'm gonna go get my own.
Hot melts and fries, $1.99 only at Hardee's.
Anybody down there?
For a hot breakfast deal, get a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, just 99 cents.
Hardee's. A new benchmark for value in a luxury sedan. The 94 Park Avenue, responsive 3800 engine, dual airbag, dual zone climate control, anti-lock brakes, concert stereo, remote keyless entry, $25,995 or $399 per month lease. Save $10,000 over Town Car or Continental at your Quality Buick dealer now.
Live at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion right now. We're going to take a little halftime break with the Dance in Motion squad from Beersford. Out of Beersford High School, and we'll be back to the Dakota Dome after this break. O'Gorman leads Mitchell 21-3.
GTA Feeds, feeding the dreams of rural America.
You know, I could sit up here all day telling you about Hardee's new hot melts with fries for just $1.99. Like Hardee's tasty hot ham and cheese, or that juicy mushroom and Swiss burger. And my favorite, the piled high roast beef and cheddar. But I'm not sitting up here all day. I'm gonna go get my own.
Hot melts and fries, $1.99 only at Hardee's.
Anybody down there?
For a hot breakfast deal, get a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, just 99 cents.
Hardee's.
The new Ram pickup features a frame design so strong, it's been patented. Its available rear step bumper can pull 5,000 pounds by itself without the help of that frame. And the tie-downs in back are so strong, they can support the weight of the entire truck. We overbuilt this pickup because we were sure you'd never underwork it. New Dodge Ram, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
60 Minutes celebrates 25 years in a night of unforgettable television. The 60 Minutes Anniversary Special. Sunday on Kelloland TV.
Welcome back to the Dome. Mark Ovenden, Lee Timmerman, along with Tom Neiman. Some pretty impressive numbers on the board. That time of possession really means nothing.
Absolutely.
Aside from the fact that Mitchell kept the ball away from O'Gorman for 9 minutes on that one drive. But they did pretty much anything they wanted with the football when they had it.
O'Gorman is 2/3 of the way to its goal of having 300 yards rushing already with 2 quarters to go. 199, 101 of those to Phil Schott. The pass completion there, but Mitchell with some good drives, you know, and the offensive yards there. But the telltale sign really is you know, the touchdowns and the way the offensive line is played for the Knights. There's not much Mitchell's defense could do.
Well, sometimes a good old-fashioned kicking can motivate your team. That's exactly what happened to O'Gorman when they lost 34-6 to Washington. They've played great football ever since. Mitchell has played great football, winning 4 straight games, but right now they're in a deep hole. Bob Sprang is standing by with Tom Neiman. Can they climb out of it, Tom?
Excitement of it all.
We're just talking a little bit. Bob says his team's a little flat coming in here.
Well, I think so, Tom. It just seems like the excitement of the whole thing has a great deal to do with it, and it's a new experience for these guys, and it's kind of shown a little bit. O'Gorman just beating us off the football, and I think that's basically right where it's at.
Now that you've seen them, how do you stop them?
Well, we're going to change a little bit of defense. You're going to see us go into a little more of a gap attack and see if we can't shut down that run. They've been awful tough on it, and we haven't shut it down. We've tried every defense we've had so far, and they've whipped us on every one of them. So we're gonna try something else the second half.
Offensively, how do you look at it? Do you try to get big plays to get back into the game, or do you make it on a methodical drives?
Well, I think we can continue to drive. You know, another score, we're right back in this ball game. It's 21-10, and you know, we don't need to panic. We haven't panicked all year long. We've been able to come back in the second half before, and hey, we can do it again this time too.
And one last thing we need to clear up. All the scuttlebutt about Mitchell's not supposed to be here. They're 5-6, but you guys know in your heart you're supposed to be here.
Well, I think that's right, Tom. We've had an outstanding second season, you know, in the playoffs, and like we've talked about before, we could have just as well been 6-2 rather than 2-6 in regular season. You can ask any ESD school how tough we really were in the regular season, and we just continued to play, and we feel we should be there. We've played that well in the second season.
All right. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Bob Sprang and his Mitchell Kernals down 21-3. Back up to you, fellas.
He's still smiling.
I was going to say, he was talking about them getting whooped with a smile on his face. The eternal optimist, Bob Sprang. He's a fun guy to talk with.
He says that Jack Scott was his high school coach at Willow Lake. Jack was a positive, he was a motivating type of guy, and he had a tremendous influence on a young guy by the name of Bob Sprang. he says now he hopes he can have that kind of an influence on just one of his kids or more, which he probably has and will do. But that'll take you a long way in life. You look at the positive side of things, you're going to go a whole lot farther than if you dwell on the negatives. And I think that applies to any situation in life. And he's right. His team is not out of it. But they have got to stop O'Gorman. They have simply got to stop the Knights. And they have not done that. You know, those numbers that we saw statistically at the end of the first half, O'Gorman hasn't even had the ball that much, and they've got all those yards. That's the thing that's so incredible about it.
Yeah, it shows you how bad that O'Gorman is really taking, or good, I guess, O'Gorman is taking it to him. Again, I harken back to the offensive line, Mark. They have done phenomenal. I mean, you just don't go out and execute like that by accident.
10 carries, 58 yards for Jason Green. 6 carries, 48 yards for Matt Carlson. 5 carries, 101 yards for Phil Schott. Now keep in mind, Chad Olinger was hurt on the next to last play of the first half. Remains to be seen his status. I would highly doubt he would be back after seeing him leave the field.
Just a quick scan of the sideline, Mark. I don't see a 1 and a 5 together over there.
Derek Hafferman will come in and play quarterback. Here's the kickoff to start the second half. Schott takes it on the 4-yard line. And he goes down on the 25. So that's where the Knights will put the ball into play on their first possession of the second half, leading 21-3. Recapping the scoring in the first quarter, they had a nice 10-play, 64-yard drive, capped off by the 2-yard run. Jason Green made it 7-0. Next time they got the ball back after a punt that went into the end zone after a pretty good Mitchell drive, boom, 80 yards. Phil Schott out of a cannon, and it was 14-0.
The quarterback is number 33, Burke.
The handoff goes to Carlson. The quarterback is Pat Burke.
And the reason we haven't said his name earlier is because he's also the punter.
He's the punter, and he hasn't had to do anything.
Nope.
He says, all right, I get to play.
Hold. So that'll help Mitchell in what it needs to do. Hold O'Gorman here. Get the ball back and then put the drive together. So it'll be first down and 20.
This was the question I was struggling with at the end of the first half is Olinger not in there going to affect the chemistry?
On the offense, still
oh, yes,
down.
It does, without a doubt.
So Schott's 80-yard touchdown run made it 14-0, and then just moments into the second quarter, Green went 14 yards, capping another nice drive, making it 21-0. Then a monster drive by Mitchell, 9 minutes long, 22 plays long. They kick a field goal before halftime and take 3 points off of that lead. It's 21-3.
You know, I think it does something for the defense as well when there's a different quarterback in there, because they know by the same token that everything, you know, isn't status quo, so to speak. You know, boy, we've watched number 15 take drives against us, and now there's a number 33 in there at quarterback. Go a little bit harder, and we'll see how this gap type of defensive approach on the line works.
Gain of 3 for Green, second down and 18. Pitch back shot, and Schott gets a couple. They stop O'Gorman here now, deep in their territory. They're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position.
Sometimes one of the things that will happen when you go to a gap type of approach on a defensive line, meaning not helmet to helmet, but helmet right between the shoulders of the offensive line. Sometimes if you've got the right play called, it's much easier to create a seam because you already have somebody in that gap. You don't have to move them quite as far.
Burke hands off to Carlson, and he is stopped for a loss. And now, suddenly, Mitchell's got something to be fired up about. Ryan Titsey and Eric Kuiper on the stop there, and it's 4th down. And Burke will simply drop back and punt the football now.
Well, Tom, Neiman just came up and Mark and told us that Chad Olinger has a pulled muscle in his back after that big hit when he got bent over. He will not play in the second half.
But you know what? That's good news. That
Yes.
That's a pulled muscle. It looked worse than that. Here's the kick. Fielded by Huber on the 35. Huber to the 40. Huber to the 44-yard line. Pretty good coverage. Nice kick by Burke, who has been thrown into a situation that isn't the easiest for a sophomore. Not just the punter anymore. He's the quarterback.
But he has punted all year long. So, goal number 1 for the Mitchell Kernals accomplished.
Right.
That's the defense. Here's their chance for goal number 2.
A touchdown.
Yes.
Not a field goal.
Nope. It's they need 6 in the PAT.
Ty Huber doesn't get much. 5'9", 160, and he is still throwing his body at that O'Gorman defense.
Matt Durband, one of the bodies he threw it at, number 61, who was in on that tackle.
Ty's going to be a little sore tomorrow, I would imagine.
He's probably a little sore already. Had nowhere to go. Mike Patton.
No gain on that play.
Mike Patton, 226 pounds, was standing right where Huber wanted to run. He's disgusted. He's shaking his head a little bit. It's like, tried to bounce it out, and he couldn't get back outside.
This is not a big O'Gorman team, but I think you'd have a hard time convincing Ty Huber of that. Much smaller than the normal team that they put on the field in recent years. They only have a couple of guys over 200 pounds that play a lot.
Patton is one of them.
Yes. Now Sprang on the screen to the tight end Anderson. Anderson trying to make it happen, fumbles the ball, and O'Gorman has it. Kelly on the recovery from one tight end to another. Kelly playing defensive end tonight because of the injury to the normal starting tight end, Wes Keck.
Anderson trying to get as much yards as possible, but somebody, and I'm not sure who, came in and put a pretty good hit, put the helmet on the ball, and it popped away. In the games I've watched O'Gorman this year, when they have gotten a turnover, they know how to jump on top of it.
Yep. Although in this case, I doubt you're going to see them throwing the ball deep.
Another thing that's a little interesting, too, with what O'Gorman does, and with whether Olinger's quarterback, whether Burke's quarterback, it doesn't matter. A lot of teams use players to run the plays in and out from the bench. The O'Gorman quarterback will run over, talk to Steve Keeter, run back, and get in the huddle.
Gets a pretty good workout.
Well, that way you don't, also you don't risk something,
miscommunication.
Not going right on the play that came from the sideline.
Second down and 9 for O'Gorman. Oh, Green's going to throw. Picked off! Burke's pass is picked off!
Riddle!
And shot. Will he catch him? Yes. Run down on the 10-yard line. So Pat Burke's pass intercepted by Mike Riddle and returned to the 10-yard line.
Went from the 43, his own, down to the 10.
You were right. They did go for it. They went for the jugular. I was surprised they would throw the ball with Burke.
The pop pass intended for the tight end, Kelly, read by Riddle perfectly. Riddle had to have his eye on the tight end to be able to step in front of that.
Here's the Riddle. Throw it down the middle, and I'll pick it off and run for a touchdown. Well, he was caught on the 10-yard line. Now Gorman trying to keep Mitchell out of the end zone. The Kernals, this is 4-down territory. Actually, they can get a first down on the 1-yard line.
Burke On the pop pass, still under pressure. He tried to jump up and throw it.
He's hit right as he throws the ball.
Chad Stahl, number 66, was the guy right in Burke's face.
Second down, 9 yards to go for a first down, 10 yards to go for a touchdown. Sprang keeps it, and he is dropped for a loss by Klemka.
Boy, negative yards at this part of the field are just, I mean, it's tough to take from the offensive team.
Third down, 12 yards to go.
I didn't really see anyone in much of a pass pattern. The way
looked like he was going to
put it on his hip.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times you try to hide it, maybe throw it, and I didn't see anyone out there to throw it to.
Sprang, throws, it's incomplete.
Not enough zip to get it toward Anderson, who was open at one particular time.
So the biggest play of the game right now.
Here comes Giblin.
Ooh. Well, the positive, if they can get a field goal, is that 2 touchdowns could still win the game. Because where it stands right now, they need 3 scores of any kind. It's just that you'd like to be able to save the field goal for later.
2 yards shorter than his last one.
They need this big time. The kick is up, and it is good. Nice kick by Giblin. And a 30-yard field goal cuts the margin to 15. Stay with us.
My dream is to build a better tomorrow by increasing our investment in the schools today. A wider range of electives would expose students to more careers. Better labs would make learning more exciting. And our schools would be able to continue preparing students for the challenges of tomorrow.
No dream is too big if someone, somewhere, believes in you.
Your Ford dealer knows you don't have money to throw away, so he's giving you your money's worth. The best-selling truck in America for just $229 a month for 24 months. That's right, a Ford F-150 XLT with a powerful 5-liter engine, automatic transmission, standard driver's airbag, air, power windows and locks, stereo cassette, and much more for only $229 a month. Don't throw your money away. Get America's best-selling truck for only $229 a month for 24 months. Only at the Truck Authority, your Northland Ford dealer.
So the field goal by Giblin cuts into that margin, makes it 21-6. He's got 2 field goals. We have 5:19 to go here in the third quarter of the 11AA championship. And he just kind of squibs one down the middle, and O'Gorman gets the ball on the 32-yard line on the return by Greg Danke.
The O'Gorman defense not giving up a touchdown there.
Yes.
Make sure we point that out.
Hats off to them, because Mitchell had the ball on the return of the interception, 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line, and actually lost 2 yards in the ensuing series of plays and had to settle for a field goal. They'll take the points, but they wanted 6. So now Gorman has it again with Pat Burke at quarterback. Pitches back the shot. Picks up 4 yards.
So if we remember on the interception, Chad Stahl was right in the face of Burke. Well, on that particular pitch, he was right on Burke's back by the time the ball just barely left his hand. Number 66 is getting through.
Grosdidier on the tackle. If that name sounds at all familiar, it should. The youngest of either 12 or 13 Grosdidiers. One of his brothers, Jamie, an outstanding player at South Dakota State. And Carlson rips off the first down, dragged down by Keith Robinholt. But Matt Carlson picks up the first down for the Knights.
It's been far and away the most effective play for O'Gorman. The off tackle, one way or the other. Coming in from his cornerback spot, Robinholt. And that was pretty close to being one tackle away, too, from being twice as long, that run.
Shot again, tripped up by Robinold. Still dives forward after he's tripped up, picks up a couple. And right now, O'Gorman chewing away at that clock. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, 21-6. The Knights, who scored all 21 points in the first 13-23 of the game. Carlson takes the handoff, and he does not want to go down. Worked very hard to get those 3 yards before being tackled.
Well, Mitchell shut it off that time and turned it back inside. That lovely seam that Carlson has been seeing out there that just wasn't there.
Justin Rannick sealing it up. Sprang also helping out on the tackle. It's 3rd down and 5. And I bet you can almost answer the question as to whether the Knights will throw.
No.
Carlson gets away from the tackle in the backfield and gets a big first down. If he goes down at all.
That was the emotional type of play that O'Gorman was looking for.
One very determined young man.
Boy, that's a big play for the O'Gorman Knights. And that gap-type defense, the all-or-nothing type approach is kind of working. Look at the penetration that some of the defenders get, but yet Carlson was able to get around the potential tackle by Kuiper. If Kuiper makes that play, can't hold on in the back. Going. He almost looked for the little Energizer bunny out on that play. He just kept on pushing.
Again, Justin Rannick on the tackle for Mitchell. Chad Stahl kind of grabbed at his jersey on the way by and slowed him down.
Of all the players up front for Mitchell who have benefited the most on the the all-or-nothing type of attack from the gap is that Chad Stahl. He's so big that once he gets between you at 270, you can't really move him anyway. Just off to his left to the center.
Conkey, the ball carrier for the first time for O'Gorman. And a good effort by number 24. Picks up about 5 yards on the play, and it's 3rd down and 4.
Think we'll see a pass?
No. Whoa, it's a fumble, and Mitchell appears to have it.
It was a pitch intended to go back to Carlson that hit Green in the chest.
Yep. We can take another look at that, you'll see, and it was recovered by Mike Riddle again, who makes another big play. The pitch for Carlson, oops.
Hits Green. You talked about not having Olinger in there. From the quarterback spot.
There you go.
There it is.
Yep. Mitchell has got to take advantage now of this big opportunity, getting the ball back, plus keeping O'Gorman from scoring any more points, because they were getting down in field goal range. O'Gorman has an outstanding kicker in Robbie Hillman. We're resetting the clock to 1:17, I do believe.
It also makes the last field goal by Giblin look a little bit bigger, too, if Mitchell can get down. Well, they went down seconds instead of up seconds. Took 7 seconds off it, I believe.
1:07 to go in the third quarter, 21-6. O'Gorman with the lead. Mitchell is battling back. They were down 21-0 and have scored a couple of field goals and now have the ball back on their own 37-yard line.
Getting up to Hubert.
Touchdown. Sprang, throwing deep. And I believe it was caught out of bounds by Bob Sprang. Nice grab, Bob.
I watched number 8 the whole way. It was the old out and up. And covered extremely well.
I wonder how many times he's caught a pass from his son in the backyard over here.
The big backyard he has in here, isn't it?
Real big.
Don't have to mow it.
Got to vacuum it off, though. Still just as much work. Sprang to throw again. Got a man wide open. Oh, it's just over the outstretched hands of Hauser.
The out and up set up that particular play that almost clicked because Hillman went way over again to the far side. He is supposed to be kind of in halves, guard the halves. He went over.
Ooh. About
to guard where Miller was, yeah. That play was there, just didn't quite connect.
3rd down and 10 for Mitchell on the 37-yard line. Sprang rolls right. Sprang has a guy down the middle, is open. Intercepted! Hillman made the interception. I thought he was going to throw to Jarrett Anderson. Instead, he went further downfield, and it was picked off.
Well, what has happened during the game from a quarterbacking spot for Sprang is that when he's passed, he's been falling backwards. Look at that. He's falling backwards again. You can't get a tight spiral on that, and it just floats on up there. Hillman stepping across in front.
Well, you can see his receiver actually coming back. He was open. Green takes the handoff, bouncing off a couple of tacklers and getting 3. That'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Green with 65 yards, Carlson with 67, Schott with 112, and O'Gorman with 21 points, Mitchell with 6. Back for the 4th quarter, O'Gorman just 12 minutes away from another 11 AA championship.
What are your neighbors saying about electric heat pumps?
The cost, you know, the savings. Efficiency. I think it's the biggest thing I can say about it. I think it's the only heating system as far as I'm concerned.
It's just a nice, comfortable, steady heat.
I wouldn't put them in if they wasn't good. It's one of the best moves we ever made, getting the heat pump.
Don't just take their word for it. Call your electric cooperative today for more information.
I would advise anybody to get a heat pump. We really love it.
On the field. On the court. And in the classroom. The leaders, the champions make the difference. Toshiba America Information Systems Incorporated in Mitchell salutes the champions of education, teachers, administrators, and coaches.
Obtaining or upgrading your ski equipment doesn't always have to mean a huge investment. Join me Wednesday on the Early News, and you'll learn about this year's ski swap, getting geared up on our next Feeling Good.
It's the stuff that Greg Martin had on his head. He'll do anything for attention, won't he? 21-6 our score. O'Gorman with the lead and the ball after the turnover. 2nd down and 7. Green still on his feet into Mitchell territory. What a run.
And part of the reason the run opens up was the gap style of defense. If you break the initial line of scrimmage, when everybody's going forward, there's not much else to help. Look at all the yellow jerseys in the backfield. They shot through. If you don't get Green right there, he's big enough and it's shown throughout the year that he can break those tackles. Yeah,
you got to get him low. You got to get him around the legs or you have no chance. And that's not even a sure bet. 1st and 10 for the Knights. There's Green again. Still on his feet. Another 1st down for O'Gorman. Power football at its best. That's exactly what Steve Keeter wants in this 4th quarter. Watch watch those legs driving, Lee.
Off left tackle, the seam block, the block that kind of sets it up. Number 74, Rob Martinson. And you're right, Mark. Those legs just keep pumping.
One more of those and he has 100 yards.
Well, through 3 quarters, it was 240 total yards rushing. And there's the quarterback over talking to Steve Keeter.
Well, you can add 32 onto that total because that's how many he's picked up in his last 3 carries. And he is just shy of 100. Schott has 112. Matt Carlson has 67. And O'Gorman trying to salt this game away. Good surge there by the Mitchell defensive front.
Well, Mitchell has had a good surge most of the time. It's just picking the right hole and picking up the right block. Through 3 quarters, as we talked about, 240 rushing yards. Just the 1 pass completion, and I don't know if we'll see another pass attempts from O'Gorman, but yeah, that's big yardage and the turnovers as well. 2 for each team.
Burke's going to keep it himself. And he picks up about 3 yards and runs over to get the play.
It's a lot of extra
Look at all
yardage.
that extra running he's having to do.
And of course, at the Dakota Dome, where both teams are on the same side, the quarterback has to run a little bit further in this case when you're down to the right, and you're right at home anyway, and to your left is the O'Gorman bench.
4th down and 4 for O'Gorman. And if Mitchell wants to win this football game,
need the ball back.
They have to stop O'Gorman on this play. And they do. Huge play by number 71, Ryan Titsey. He is right at Jason Green's face as he took the handoff.
And you made the hit at the initial point of attack. Again, if Titsey does not make that, then it's a 1st down. And you notice where he had him, Mark? Down low, right around the waist.
The only place you can get Green down. 9:15 to go in the game. Norman with a 15-point lead. Huber with 3 yards. And they need more than 3 yards per play now. There's Chad Olinger on the sideline with the pulled muscle in his back. And we're thankful that that's all that happened.
He got hit real hard.
He really got bent
by
forward.
Kuiper. Yeah, by Eric Kuiper, and went down to the turf for a while and didn't look good. But yeah, pulled muscles better than vertebrae or anything else back there.
Sprang with lots of time. He's going to have to scramble. Kelly gets him.
Kelly playing for Wes Keck. Keck out with a neck injury.
Right.
Kelly ran him down from the backside for 87, a junior.
Tell you what, this O'Gorman team has peaked at the right time. There have been other teams that have played more impressively at times during the year, but you want to play your best football now, and that's what they're doing.
And it's so interesting, and we see it so many times, not necessarily with Harrisburg this year who went undefeated, but a loss keys a team to start getting things in track, and that was the Washington loss early in the year for O'Gorman.
Look out. Sprang gets it off to Jarrett Anderson. Jarrett's still on his feet. He just does not want to go down. Pretty good effort to gain nothing.
4th and long. In your own end with 7:25 and the clock moving.
You almost have to punt here.
Yes, I agree. Oh, someone's down on the far side for O'Gorman. I didn't see that. There's a cramp.
You get lots of cramps on this AstroTurf surface. I'm surprised we haven't had more. It's very pleasant in here tonight, almost cool. Last night, yesterday, it was 95 degrees in here at one point. Then Mark Haugen showed up. cool things off for us, our statistician.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Way to go.
He said it's his personality.
I'm not going to touch that one.
I couldn't have thought of a better jab myself.
But I've seen over the years more teams have trouble the first time they play on this field with cramps.
Which is not the case, of course, for O'Gorman. Plays down here in the regular season.
Yep.
They're used to the turf. They make sure that they get used to the turf, because they plan on being here in the last game of the year.
So that's why they do it, huh?
I would think so. They played East down here in the last game of the regular season this year.
Now, I always thought they did that to get more fans from Sioux City, because they knew their fans would go anyway and they'd make more money at the gate.
It's combined.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the answer to that.
I dream of a classroom where students learn to look at our world through the eyes of more than one culture. The study of different cultures will encourage students to form their own beliefs. By learning that all of us are different and the same, people will better understand how to work together for the benefit of all.
No dream is too big if someone, somewhere, believes in you.
Mitchell has apparently decided to go for it on 4th and 8 from their own 32-yard line. Sprang to throw. And it is intercepted. Intercepted by Happeman. And O'Gorman gets the ball back.
See how it's always more fun to intercept it than to just knock it down and gain the 10 yards back. Always try to hold on, huh?
You get the INT in a state championship game, that goes down in the record books as an interception. You bat the ball down, nobody's going to remember or believe you when you tell your grandkids.
It's just
Derek's pretty happy about that.
He should be, because he was in perfect defensive position. Took the inside away.
Under 7 minutes now to go in the game.
Stahl, number 66, big number 66 in there.
Shoves everybody out of the way and makes the tackle. We mentioned it earlier, he is a very strong young man. Weighs 285 pounds. He's a tough guy to move out of the way. And he's very strong on top of that with his ability to bench press 350 pounds. There's Green. And he is real close to 100 yards.
Justin Rannick, number 77, along with Riddle.
So it looks like the Knights will have 2 guys over 100 yards. And Carlson not too far behind. Steve Keeter said if we rush for 300, we're going to win. If we pass for 100, we're probably in deep trouble. Carlson with a carry down to the 33. They're not going to pass for 100, but it sure looks like they're going to hit 3 on the.
Now they'll make 3
on the ground.
At 240 through 3 quarters.
So it's 4th down and 4 on the 33-yard line. And Burke lines up to punt the ball, leading by 15 points. Trying to pin the Kernals deep. And he coffin corners it. Will it bounce out? Yes. Great kick. Great kick.
That's a terrific punt. Thought you hated punts, Mark.
Not when they do that. I hate it when they drill it right into the middle of the end zone from 33 yards out. He was trying to do that. If it had taken a bad bounce, A for effort.
No, I just need to rib you a little bit about the punt thing. It's been the ongoing theme this weekend.
Makes the hair on my neck stand up. Notice I didn't say at the top of my head.
Yeah, I was going to let you talk yourself out of that one.
98 yards from a touchdown that Mitchell desperately needs. Sprang deep down the middle. Hauser. Nice catch. Very nice catch. And they're out of a huge hole. That was a 31-yard completion.
The middle was wide open and it has been open, Mark, a couple of times in the game, but so far Sprang hasn't been able to get the ball there. On this particular throw, and again, a nice catch, Sprang was able to set up, get his feet under him, put a good spiral on the ball.
Now there's Huber. Huber's got a first down to the 47-yard line, 13 quick yards for him. And you wonder why they're running, but in high school ball, you get the first down, the clock does stop until they move the chains. 4:33 to go in the game, 21-6 O'Gorman. Hauser takes the handoff and gets maybe a yard. And that's where a run kills you.
Tried the little surprise move because I think it's only the 6th carry for Hauser. See if he can hit your fullback over the middle while they're coming on a tough pass rush. Didn't work.
Sprang has the man Hauser. He's out of bounds. And he's very close to a first down. He is right on the marker.
But you have to keep in mind that the marker that we can see from our end and you can see at home over there is not the official one. The official chain is over here. That guy just kind of guesses where he thinks 10 yards is and will stand there.
And that's why you're going to see the chain come into your picture here, and they will measure.
Mitchell's already has the play called, and they were breaking the huddle. You know they're in a hurry-up situation. Got it.
Yep. Hauser's been the primary receiver here for Pat Sprang, who's completed 7 passes, 4 of them to Hauser for 64 yards.
He's the fullback out of the backfield.
Huber's got 1 for 4, and Anderson's got 2 for none. Sprang again, down the middle, intercepted, picked off, Bill Early. Flags all over the place at the end of the run.
And what a nice run and return there. Grabbed the ball at the 33 and brought it all the way back down to Mitchell's 41. Early, who's the starting right guard, doesn't get the ball in his hands too much, but boy, sure looked like a running back after he caught it.
He's had 5 fumble recoveries on the defensive side of the ball, but doesn't get to do that all too often.
Second interception of the year, too, for Early.
Personal foul. Clipping number 24 on the run back. First down.
Early just reaches up and grabs it with those big paws. Makes a nice run, too.
Yeah, waiting for the blockers, trying to set it up, but there was the clip.
O'Gorman now will try to run the clock out. 1st and 10, 3:53 to go in the game, leading 21-6.
4th Mitchell turnover in the game.
Burke keeps it himself. Big gainer, still in his feet. Into Mitchell territory, gets 13 yards. Yes, he's a good punter, but he's a pretty good quarterback too.
Fine job. The clock, definitely the enemy. No doubt about it. There's, what, 3:35 left? It's the quarterback sweep. I'll follow you, fellas.
Should put him over 300 yards rushing. Now they got to get the ball to Jason Green again.
He's 3 away from 100.
Depends on whose stats you look at.
Mark's.
Mark Ovenden. It doesn't matter. He's got the 100 yards. Either way you look at it. Picks up 6 yards on the play. And that puts him over 100 yards. Another look. Look at him put his shoulder down and just drive right on by the defender. And he delivers another blow at the point of the tackle. There aren't too many running backs who make defenders pay for making the tackle. Green does
Green
that.
does.
Carlson actually lost 3 yards on the play.
Mitchell is taking a timeout.
With 2:24 to go in the game, and we'll take a break. 21-6 our score. Gorman has the lead. They have the ball, and we'll be right back. And we'll put that 2 on the 1 on the scoreboard too.
A new benchmark for value in a luxury sedan. The 94 Park Avenue, responsive 3800 engine, dual airbag, dual zone climate control, anti-lock brakes, concert stereo, remote keyless entry, $25,995 or $399 per month lease. Save $10,000 over Town Car or Continental at your Quality Buick dealer now.
America's corn growers wanted it. The earth needed it. And now science has created it. Unique chemistry for the best grass control you can get, but at much lower rates. A newer, better way to protect what we grow and protect where we grow. New Frontier herbicide. Best against grass, best for the land.
21-6 our score. Mark Ovenden, Lee Timmerman, and Tom Neiman back at the Dome. The 11 AA championship apparently belongs to O'Gorman again. Phil Schott on the pitch. They scored 3 touchdowns in the first 13.5 minutes of the game. And it's been kind of a standstill from that point on, but they had enough of a cushion to have a very comfortable lead and have not been seriously threatened since.
And Schott was the man who had the play, the key play, that 80-yard run for touchdown number 2.
Tradition is something that you can't just make happen. It takes time. It takes a lot of years of winning to have that kind of tradition where young kids want to go to school in a certain place. Jason Green has wanted to play football at O'Gorman since he was in 5th grade, to the best of Steve Keeter's knowledge. Maybe it went back even further than that. But in 5th grade, he said, I want to be a football player at O'Gorman. He's done that, and so have probably a lot of the other kids on this O'Gorman team. That's something the public schools in Sioux Falls, they have to battle with. The tradition that O'Gorman has, the winning tradition.
What, 81, 85, 86, 88, 91, 93.
93.
Those are the championship years.
Yep. Fourth and 4, Burke to kick it. Goes out of bounds. 2:09 to go in the game. Mitchell needing 2 touchdowns and a pair of 2-point conversions. You never know, but with the way this game has gone to this point, highly improbable.
Yeah, I think last night we had our one wild game, bizarre finish and everything else.
Huber's going to throw it. And he's got So Huber with the halfback option. Nice pass.
Hillman made a mistake. He went for another interception. Instead of playing the man, he played the ball. And he also interfered on the play, I think.
So they'll take the big play.
Oh, he definitely.
Forget the penalty. And the ball is down on the...
Number 89, Rob Hillman, made the mistake of playing the ball. Watch him right now. Well, you didn't see it earlier than that. He tried to cut across and get in position for the pickoff.
So that's a 54-yard gain. Sacked. He shakes free, gets the ball off to his tight end Anderson, and he is hammered on the 26-yard line. Gain of 8.
Somehow pulled away after Green had a hold of his jersey. Mitchell in the hurry up, naturally, because they must.
Sprang to throw again. He's going to scramble, and he's hit for a yard gain. So it's 3rd down and 2, and the clock is running.
Mitchell has no timeouts left.
1:20 to go in the game. And here's that weird setup. Look at they got. Uh-oh.
Somebody moved?
Yep. Garrett Gross, once he got down in his set position, moved.
It worked earlier in the game.
Number 64 on the defense.
For a nice long pass. But not this time with the movement. Mitchell will come out and try the same setup again. Oh, Giblin moved this time.
Yep. Dead ball foul. False start. Number 1 on the offense.
So it's 3rd and 12 now.
Kernals going the wrong way.
Yep.
Just 62 seconds left.
Sprang rolls left. Avoids the sack once, twice, 3 times. Throws it downfield, and it is juggled. Is it caught?
Nope.
No. So the clock stops with 50 seconds to go in the game.
But that was 3rd down as well.
So now it's down to 1 play. 4th and 12. A 15-point lead for the O'Gorman Knights. 21-6. Steve Keeter trying to win his 5th title. O'Gorman's 6th. Sprang downfield. Has a man for a 1st down.
Sprang was hit as he threw.
To Ryan Miller.
Miller pulled it in.
Gain of 21 yards on the play.
4th and desperation. They converted.
40 seconds to go in the game, and Mitchell needs a touchdown now. Sprang to his right, incomplete. Keep in mind, they need 2 touchdowns, not 1.
And the
2-point conversions.
Point conversions.
Or at least one of them, anyway.
Yeah. Well,
they'd settle for a tie right now, down 21-6. 35 seconds to go. We had triple overtime last night. But you got to get the first touchdown before you worry about the second one.
And then you get, you know, the onside kick and everything else that happens with that. But first, the touchdown is needed.
Sprang to Huber. That could very well be the last play of the game. As the ball pops free, O'Gorman has it. Klemka with the recovery, and the Knights will be the 11 AA champions.
What a football program year after year after year O'Gorman has. He tried to pitch it. That's what Huber tried to do, was throw it. Desperate times meet desperate measures.
Well, and he knows the situation. They can't stop the clock, and the clock will run out. And O'Gorman is the 11 AA champion for the 6th time. They've been to 9 championship games in 13 years of high school football playoffs, and they have won 6 times. An incredible number. Almost half of the years that there have been high school football playoffs, O'Gorman has been the champion. And midway through the season, if you'd have told me they would win, I'd have said you're nuts.
No, I would have agreed with you. This is a team that, quite frankly, does not have individual standouts. But by that same token, it made it more of a cohesive team without the egos or anything along that lines. And I know Coach Keeter said he's had fun with this team, coaching
really
them and watching them pull together and pull for each other.
That's a lot more fun when you don't have to deal with that. They say sometimes it's easier to win when you've got all that great talent, but that's not always true. And that's not to say O'Gorman doesn't have great talent, but they've got kids with guts and heart, and that's what's gotten them here.
Yeah, and really the same thing can be said for Mitchell. Because after the losses in the regular season, it took the pressure totally off of their team. They played with no pressure, played well to get here.
Unbelievable Cinderella story to get here. However, they come up 1 win shy of probably what would be the most improbable state champions ever.
I would agree.
To go from 1-6 all the way to the championship game. But the big plays early for O'Gorman. Boom, boom, and boom, and it was 21-0 very early in the second quarter, and that was just simply too big.
Yeah, there were still 10 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter after the 3rd touchdown and extra point.
And that's an awful lot to ask.
Handing out the trophies down at midfield.
To accept the runner-up trophy for Class 11A AA, head coach Bob Sprang of the Mitchell Kernals. And accepting the award for the 1993 11 AA state champions, the O'Gorman Knights, head coach Steve Keeter.
Well, Steve Keeter knows how to hold that trophy up. He's done it enough times. The O'Gorman Knights have done it again.
We talked about how these kids expect to win each year when they come into a program. They did it.
They took a lot of grief from their older brothers and sisters and friends who maybe were off to college somewhere and didn't realize the shift of the balance of power perhaps in the SIC when they read in the paper that Sioux City West had beaten O'Gorman and then Washington beat them. Well, I'd say they responded to whatever grief they took from their buddies. And no one is probably prouder of them than their head coach. Let's send it down to Tom Neiman.
All right, fellas. Steve Keeter, you guys, we were just talking a little bit. You guys had some injuries early in the season. You weren't really that good a team until maybe after the loss to Washington, and you guys turned into another great O'Gorman.
Well, yeah, we kind of hit our stride right after the Washington game. Like you say, we got some players back that we hadn't had all year, and this team just improved every game. I mean, more than a lot of teams we've had. They hung together and pulled each other up, and every game got better. You can mark from the Washington game till the end, and every game got better. This one here, we had some injuries in the game. We lost our quarterback, lost a couple other guys, but I can't say enough about these guys. They've never quit. They've always overcome adversity.
Has that set them apart? Is there anything else that sets them apart? You guys have won so many championships. What sets this team apart from the others?
Well, I think that does. You know, a lot of the teams we've had have been dominating all year and have just rolled through. This team hasn't. This team had to come from a long ways. We only brought 2 starters back from last year, and they brought it all the way up to this level where we're the best team in the state right now.
I agree. You guys, everybody thinks they know what you guys are going to run every game, and they can't stop you. Why?
Well, because these guys execute so well. They do such a great job that, you know, as long as you put a hat on everybody, you know, you can block everybody, and they did her today.
They did. Great game. Thanks, Steve Keeter. We're going to send it back upstairs while we look for the Joe Robbie MVP, Jason Green. So hang on, fellas. We'll be right back down here.
Good luck. That is a sea of blue and white down there, and good luck to Tom Neiman finding Jason Green in that sea of blue.
You know, when you listen to what Coach Keeter had to say, you can really feel the sense of pride and accomplishment he had in his voice and what he felt like and what they come through this year.
Well, it's more fun when it's not to say they were the underdog, but
they weren't.
At one point during the season, they certainly were counted out by everybody, perhaps except for themselves. And I'm sure, you know, after they lost by 28 points to Washington, I'm sure they were wondering if they were good enough to be here too.
They had to have, yes.
Because they weren't that night. I mean, they got manhandled.
That was the 34-6, I think, was the final of that.
Well, we've had fun the last couple of days, I'll say that. We had a triple overtime game last night. West Central beating Winter.
In its first trip ever here.
We had a pretty impressive performance by the Irene Cardinals.
Very impressive.
Afternoon, David Reuter with 3 touchdowns, a couple of interceptions. The 69-yard run on the second play of the games kind of set the tone for that. Well, the 80-yard touchdown by Schott really set the tone for this game. Big plays by a big play team that really just kind of left you feeling like the other team just wasn't going to be able to come back.
Even after, you know, Olinger goes down and Mitchell's defense had to try some desperate things, you know, on the offensive line and that type of standpoint. But yes, indeed, when you have the lead and you can pull first downs, 3 or 4 of them every time you get the ball, you're not going to get beat.
Well, I'm told Tom has Jason down there somewhere, so let's give it a try.
Yeah, we found him, of course. We're not blind down here. Jason, great ball game. We were just talking. Have you known since you were in grade school that you wanted to be an O'Gorman Knight?
Yeah, ever since. Long time I've wanted to come down here in the Dome and play like we did tonight and win the state championship. It's super. It's great.
You always knew you were going to win one.
Well, I wanted to. I wanted to real hard, and I know everyone on this team did. And then we did it.
You go both ways, offense, defense. You a little wore out after?
Yeah, I tell you, I'm a little wore out, but I feel great. Feel great.
Some of those pounding runs. Are you kind of a back that goes out and tries to hit people before they hit you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want them to hit me. I'll try and put the shot on them before they hit me. If we're going to make contact, I want to make the hit. So, yeah.
You guys were outstanding tonight.
It's great. I love it. It's just super. Line did great. Everyone just did great. It was super.
Congratulations to the MVP, Jason Green.
Thanks.
Great ball. O'Gorman, here's the champion, fellas.
Another look at his first spinning, bouncing touchdown. He had a couple of them. We'll be right back.
On the next First and 10.
These guys know I've seen you naked.
An old flame fans Diane's colds.
You know, if you two had been wearing smoke detectors in your pants, they would have gone on.
Will love hurt the Bulls?
Nobody's even seen her since a yo-yo with a boat showed up.
And a star player.
Coach, bench my butt for the championship game.
Goes Hollywood.
This is your big song.
Will his co-star take a bite out of his career? First and 10.
tonight at 10:30 here on Kelloland TV.
Dave speaks our language.
Hi there to everybody watching in Kelloland. Are you surprised to see that I can speak Kellolandish? Well, I took a Berlitz course.
Watch The Late Show with David Letterman, weeknights after Kelloland News at 10.
The Sioux Falls Skyforce, the Rochester Renegade, the season opener, live from the arena November 19th, only on Kelloland TV.
The O'Gorman Knights again victorious here in the 11 AA championship game. The final score was 21-6. Offensive line, that's the very first thing that most coaches work on, develop. It paid off here.
Well, you give O'Gorman a lot of credit. Very dominating performance tonight. And we have our 5th and final champion crowned here in the 11 AA game. O'Gorman beating Mitchell 21-6. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you from the Dome in Vermillion, where we are complete 2 days of football championships. We'll, of course, be back very soon with the girls' A championship in basketball from Huron. And more boys basketball coverage in March, along with Skyforce, Friday night for the season opener from the Sioux Falls Arena.
Well, I know it for my first time around. What a treat.
Glad to have you with us.
Yeah, well, thank you.
We'll invite you back for many, many more.
All right, I'll be here. I'll be here for them because it's been a good time. The people that you do not get a chance to see in front of the camera, to do the work, this is our tribute to them. They get their name on the screen for a little bit. Excellent job, fellas. Terrific. We had a good time bringing the pictures to you. Again, good night from the Dome, and congratulations to Harrisburg and O'Gorman, champions tonight.
Good night, everybody.
Playoff Pandemonium Championships 93 is sponsored by your community Norwest Bank, where you come to expect the best. Your local Northland Ford dealer. Dakota Care, proven performance in managed care. GTA Feeds, feeding the dreams of rural America. East River Electric Power Cooperative and its 26 member systems. Toshiba American Information Systems Incorporated, your nearby neighborhood Dodge dealer. Sandoz Frontier Crop Protection, and your local quality Buick dealer.
GTA Feeds, feeding the dreams of rural America.
Kelloline, the quick and easy way to stay informed. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Just call 338-5500.
Thank you for calling Kelloline.
You'll find the latest Kelloland news, weather, and sports, updated 4 times a day by the Kelloland News team. Kelloline is also a talking information guide to health and fitness, the law, car care, and entertainment. Plus, there's soap opera updates and your daily horoscope. Remember Kelloline, 338-5500.
They set out from Lonesome Dove to find a new land.
Anybody hits this herd will be hanged.
Along the way, they found each other.
Got me a new partner, the daughter of Augustus McCrae.
Academy Award winners John Voight and Louis Gossett Jr., Emmy winner Barbara Hershey, and Rick Schroeder as Newt head an all-star cast.
It's been a long time since a new man made me laugh.
This is the next great chapter in the story that became a legend.
You fight my people all my life.
Return to Lonesome Dove, Sunday night on Kelloland TV.
Live, your #1 choice for local news. Kelloland News at 10.
Macaroni with some beans and tuna fish.
Tonight, Boy Scouts go door to door. They're collecting food for the needy.
And some kids are getting a boost at the playground. But first, we're expecting some of the white stuff.
That's right. Good evening. It looks like we may be getting some snow overnight. Here's Rick Huffman in the Storm Center with the latest on our weather. What do you have for us, Rick?
We have a winter storm watch posted for southeast South Dakota and on into southwest Minnesota and northwest Iowa as far as our coverage area goes. I've got it drawn out on the map here. That's where we could see 3 to 6 inches of snow. Right now, those are the people that are on the hot seat. But everyone can expect some snow tonight and on through tomorrow. With varying amounts anywhere from 1 to 6 inches of snow. Now, it's moving so fast that, you know, the chaos theory, just the slightest thing could throw this whole thing off and ruin our forecast. But that's what we've got to work with right now. There you see the current temperatures into the 20s for most of us, except for some 30s to the west. Overnight tonight, we will stay into the 20s with snow falling, and by tomorrow, temperatures into the 30 degree area and windy to the southeast as well.